What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Max Torres with Scoop Duck. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button. The Ducks made headlines just a couple weeks ago when they beat USC to secure their second consecutive Pac-12 championship title in a very weird season, to say the least, amid the coronavirus pandemic. And right around that same time, they also inked the top-rated class in program history. So I want to rewind a little bit and focus on that. I've been able to bring, almost, I think it's about 2/3 of the class onto the Scoop Duck YouTube channel and sit down with them and get to know them and their recruiting process. So I wanted to do that one more time with, players enrolling early here in the coming weeks. And I had the chance to sit down with 4-star offensive lineman Jackson Light from Utah, who Mario Cristobal actually said was instrumental in, signing this class and, building those relationships with other recruits. Keith Brown was another name that he mentioned. So I wanted to sit down with Jackson in this exclusive interview and talk about, what it was like to be on the inside, to be one of the first guys to commit to Oregon and, go after those other top targets and really help keep everything together and build it. So with that being said, let's hop into the interview and I'll see you guys after. All right, I want to welcome in the next guest to the Scoop Duck YouTube channel. He's been on here a couple times, but he's going to be heading to Eugene here soon, so I wanted to check in with him. We're talking with center Jackson Light. Jackson, how's it going? Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm always excited to talk to you guys. Talked about this a little bit before we hit record, but I noticed that you have a new haircut. What have you been up to? And is there anything special going on with the haircut?
Oh man, I don't think I look that good with this haircut, but no, I shaved it for Make a Wish. It's just a big thing that our school does is we do charity month, and for this year we got to meet actually the kids that we were raising money for, and so some of the students and me included thought we'd be with the kids, so we shaved our heads with them and got to just meet them and stuff, and it was a great experience.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you're helping out a great cause and doing
Mhm.
that. I know that I had to shave my head in high school for a different cause. We had a rivalry week, and
Mhm.
everyone does like crazy mohawks and everything. So that
Mhm.
wasn't a good look for me, and then I ended up going completely bald. So I
Mhm.
guess everyone does it at some point.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the main reason I wanted to talk to you, you're one of the big, key members in the 2021 class. Everybody signed now, and a lot of you guys are getting to Eugene in the coming weeks, coming months. So just want to start there. What are your thoughts on this historic, record-breaking 2021 class for Oregon?
Oh, I'm just excited that it's actually a thing set in stone. We're not done yet in the 2021 class. We have a little bit more time, a little bit more lead room there, but it's just been great to build this class and meet these people and all this talk, and now we get to actually put into action and actually get on the field, start working, and get going.
Yeah, I know that there's been a couple spots opening up, so really interested to see how that kind of shakes out. Some big names certainly still out there for you guys. Um, you've been a part of this 2021 class for quite a bit. One of the first guys to commit. Talk about some of your relationships with the other guys and what it's been like getting to know them while we're all going through this pandemic.
Oh, it's been great. I've gotten to meet a couple of commits in person. I've for sure talked to all of them at least over the phone, FaceTime, text, Snapchat, all that kind of good stuff. These are just great individuals. They're great guys. Seven McGee, I met Seven McGee. He was the first person because he was the first commit, and I met him at SNL. Kind of, I don't know. It was kind of like a Dory Forrest Gump kind of moment where we kind of bumped into each other, and like he's just like holding my phone, and I held his phone, and like it was kind of funny because in hindsight, like now we're like really great friends, like we're commits together. So he was the first one I got to meet. He is awesome, and just the type of things he's been through, and he's just a great dude, and he's awesome. Keith, also great dude. I could talk about all these guys for so long, and they're just such great people, as I said, and I'm just so excited to room with them and get to get to hang out with them. So yeah.
I'm super excited for Seven. You know, he's like one of the more electric weapons. I've seen some recent clips of him. I think he's competing right now in a camp of some sort. Um,
Yeah, he's tearing it up, freaking throwing people down. Shifty little dude. I like it.
yeah, he's really fun to watch. I want to go back to what you mentioned with meeting some of the commits in person. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you went out to Arizona to watch Ty
Mhm.
compete for a state title. What was that all like?
So I didn't get to go for a state title. I got to go for a semifinal game though. Um, I got to I got to meet him, his family, his girlfriend, and it's kind of funny because like you talk to people and you see like that they're great people and all that, but then like when you get to meet the people who he surrounds himself with, you see why he's such a great person. His family is just great people. His mom and his dad funny. They get along with my parents really well, which is good. I got to meet his girlfriend. His girlfriend's really nice, and just got to meet some of his friends too and some of his teammates. And I just it just all fits together why Ty's such a great person and such a great player. And I got to watch him play and him as a player. Oh, that was so fun to watch. It was like watching a video game, honestly. He was just carrying his team, and I just wanted to go out there and block for him so badly because he didn't have the best O line. They're still pretty good. But I'm like, oh, no one touch him, no one touch him, no one touch him, because he's my future quarterback, and that's just the instinct that I have. And so he won his game. It was a nail biter. It was fun to watch. Haven't watched a high school game in 4 years, 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of refreshing to just kind of sit and watch it on the other side and kind of be chilled out that like, oh, okay, this doesn't affect me, but my family and I still got invested in the game. So kind of none of that. But yeah, after that, and then I got to go meet Brandon Buckner at Chandler. Got to watch his game, and I came with me and Ty went to that game as well, and that was also a great game, nail biter game. Same, absolute same thing as I said with Ty. His parents are great parents. His great friends, like a great community around him, and Brandon's a beast. Like he should not be. He's a 3-star, right? Well, he was a 3-star. Yeah, no, he should not be a 3-star. That dude should be upper 4-star. That dude is nasty and he's good. I mean, he's good now. And so I got to watch him play, meet his family, and then my family just me and my family packed up, came back to Utah.
Awesome. That sounds like a fun little trip. I've gotten to talk to Ty a couple times. He's an awesome dude.
Mhm.
Definitely, I feel like on the quieter side, or maybe he's just kind of like that with people that he doesn't know as well.
He's
But
just like he's just like a silent killer, you know. There's those quarterbacks who are like quiet, but like are so smart and articulate of what they're saying and what they are. It's just he meets the perfect quarterback mold. So yeah.
yeah, I love how you said I just wanted to get out there and block for him.
Oh,
You know, a lot of people are super excited to see him come to Eugene. You know, could he potentially be the first true freshman since Justin Herbert to start? Why do you think that Ty is such a good fit? You know, not only for this offense, but like also just for the kind of guys that have that high character that Cristobal wants to bring in.
He's a killer mentality. When I watched him play, like he was down most of the game, and on the sideline you could just see that like it didn't phase him at all. It was just it was fuel to the fire, and it was just another opportunity to prove how good he was. And I think that mentality and that poise and that confidence, even when you're down in a semifinal game where it's your senior year and it might be your last high school game ever, like that's rare to see in kids our age, because we're just kids. It's kind of hard to think about, but we're just kids. And he just in that way, and character wise, I've talked about that a ton, like with you, with like a lot of people. He's a great guy. He's the type of player that's going to go into the quarterback room and elevate it for sure, and compete as hard and be wherever he needs to be. Like I think it was I think we were on this talk show, like The Fan or something like that, with Andrew Nemec, and he was on before and he was just talking about how, like, you know, I might be a dude where I might need to play on the scout team. Like, dude isn't a prima donna. He'll do whatever you need him to do. And dudes like that are that good of a player, that great of character, and just kind of that character football wise is hard to come by. So yeah.
Super super cool to hear that about Ty. You always want to have that guy who has a a level head. Certainly seems like he's poised in chaos, like you were saying in that semifinal game. Um, want to talk about you and Keith specifically. I'm sure Mario's told you before, but we were looking at some of his press conferences on signing day, and he singled you and Keith out as some of the key members in building this class. What was it like to hear that from him, and what do you think he meant by that?
It was great to hear. You know, and it because Coach Cristobal's been telling me and Keith that, like, we've been help building this class all this time. We've heard that from him many times, but him saying it out to the public was just like, it was almost kind of like a gift. And like, it's, like sometimes like you get on the Jumbotron, like, oh my gosh, I'm on the Jumbotron. It was that kind of a feeling. So no, it was great. And he told me and Keith at the beginning that we'd be the type of people to lead this class into greatness. And we just believed him, and we bought in, and we got the people who we needed to get. We worked hard at it. We grew at it. Like, I grew as a person and social skills and how to talk to different people. Like, I grew a ton from just helping recruit my future teammates. And it was an awesome process. And I'm lucky that Coach Cristobal had given me the almost kind of the keys to the car for the recruiting class to pick up the guys I wanted to pick up. So
Getting the keys to the car sounds like a pretty big responsibility. So that's super cool that you were able to do that. What does it really mean? I mean, I'm just trying to get a better hold on things, because we see coaches do everything they can. They make those calls. In a normal year they do those in-home visits, but I mean, you guys are really like the boots on the ground when it comes to recruiting peers. What kind of goes into that? Like, say you have a guy that you want to get, how do you kind of start that conversation, and then ultimately you're trying to kind of inch him in the direction of Oregon, right?
Yeah. Just you like what I've kind of learned is when I first started talking to different people, I started to push Oregon right off the bat, and I kind of got to learn that relationships and just being normal kids is the best recruiting. Like, if you're going to be best friends with somebody, they're going to want to come with you, and they're going to want to listen to you and what you have to say and what you believe. And that's a big thing too, recruiting. Like, if I'm going to sell Oregon, and you can look at my Twitter, you can look at my Instagram, you can look at my basement, you can look at my closet. I am Oregon through and through. Like, I love Oregon, and it's just like a piece of me. Even though it started my sophomore year, I feel like I've been a Duck fan my whole life, and it's just been like a year, which is crazy. But just wanting to sell it to people and wanting to bring people and have them have that feeling like you have that feeling is just a big thing. And it's kind of like, it's just spreading your love for something, and kind of just becoming friends too. Like, not always talking recruiting or like, hey, where are you going, or anything like that. Just like, hey man, like, want to play some Call of Duty? Or like, hey man, like, what's up? How are you doing today? Like, how's your family? Just that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's, we hear about relationships being key in recruiting all the time. So, just echoing that sentiment. I want to get to the video game part that you mentioned there in just a second. But I can't remember if I was talking to you or Keith, but I think it was one of you guys, since you were the earlier commits. I think you guys started the Take Flight 21 hashtag.
Ooh, that was Keith.
That was Keith.
Keith's more savvy with that stuff. He's the video gamer too. He's like on Twitch and all that, and he's a streamer, so he's a lot savvy a lot more savvy when it comes to those kind of things.
Okay. So it was Keith, in fact, that I've had so many of you guys on the Zoom or on the YouTube channel. I kind of got caught
Yeah.
up. But okay, so given that we know that, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Do you have any ideas for the 2022 hashtag, or do you have any insight to that?
No idea. I think it's gonna be the same thing. Is one of the leaders of that class is gonna get a chance to get to name it. I don't know. I've I have no idea, but yeah, I think they're just gonna have one of the commits or the early commits kind of decide it, what it's gonna be, and talk with them and that kind of correspond with them.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just really fun to see kind of the hold and the relationship that social media has with recruiting.
Oh yeah.
If I can't like talk to you, maybe I would go on your social media and see how
Mhm.
strong of a supporter you are for Oregon. So
Mhm.
that makes sense. So we'll be anxiously waiting now that 2022 is kind of on the clock to see what rolls out for that. But yeah, talking about video games, like I'm a little bit of a gamer myself. I mean, I'm not on the level of some of you guys, with Keith and
Mhm.
streaming on Twitch, but I've talked to a lot of recruits and they're like, yeah, I play. They tell me I play, video games with coaches or with commits from other schools, and that's kind of how the relationship gets fostered. And we've heard Mario Cristobal be, called a relentless recruiter. What does that mean to you? Have you kind of seen that in your experience?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm so I'm not a big gamer. I would say like I like playing. I'll play with like everything, but like first time I met Keith Brown at Oregon, like we played Madden together for I don't even know how long, because we were at I think it was at SNL. So I met Keith right after I met Seven, and me and Keith just hit it off, and we were like kind of with the group, and some people were just kind of doing their own things. It was some time that we had time, and I was just like, I go up to Coach Cristobal. I'm like, hey, can me and Keith go play video games? And he's like, yeah. So me and Keith went and played video games and played out like Madden for like hours. But that's the only really video game experience I have. But like, as for our class, a lot of our guys play Warzone, and they'll get on all the time with each other. Like, I think our most said thing in our chat is Warzone question mark, and like the first four people to get on there and say I'm on, they're on a game, they're playing with each other. Seven McGee went and hung out with Keith for like I think 2 or 3 weeks or something like that, and they just played Warzone. Like Keith had his screen over there, and Seven had his screen over there. It's just a kind of a big part, and like a lot of the commits before they were committed played video games with some of the people at Oregon when they had time, But like shoot, one of my friends, Reese Moore, the Moores are big Duck fans too. He played I think it was Fortnite with like Justin Herbert, Siaka Ika, and like Braden Fajoko or something like that, and they kind of all know each other that way. But yeah, it's kind of funny because like you have recruiting with like the Twitter and some of the Instagram and texting, but like video game, it's just everything's kind of shifting to more personal kind of things where you can find relationships and find what kind you like to do with each other, like that kind of stuff.
Coaches certainly using any kind of advantage they can do to get a leg up on other schools, other coaching staffs.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're on this topic of recruiting, I'm curious to get your opinion. As a big time recruit, we're seeing recruiting changing the college football landscape. We
Mm-hmm.
see the top teams in the rankings routinely are those that end up in the college football playoffs, and Oregon's trying to become one of those blue bloods that is in contention year after year. What's that kind of like for you to kind of be on the opposite end of that, someone who's on the inside, and how do you kind of react to how recruiting has dominated football now?
We just take it as a necessity. Like you need dudes to play, good dudes that are going to play and impact football and impact your culture too. And that's why like Alabama, like Clemson, they're always up there. They have the best recruiting classes every year. They're always finding the dudes that can play football and impact their culture. So, it's just all little goals leading up to the main goal. Like, main goal is to win a national championship, and recruiting is a big part of that because you're getting your guys in who are going to be able to play. But knowing just like that, I want, and a lot of people in Oregon want a national championship, you're going to work your butt off to get the dudes that can bring you there, recruit the teammates that can get you to that point. So it's just a big thing. Recruiting and those college football playoffs and those rankings and all that, they work hand in hand, and it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, always trying to get that next dude. I mean, I feel like that's one of the phrases that we hear when it's like, hey, this guy's new, he's young, but this is kind of the potential. Like, Kayvon Thibodeau, he was described as a dude, right from the jump. Andy, so we kind of know about your relation with Oregon. I know you said relationships are huge, and that played a role, and you go into Oregon, but kind of just refresh us real quick. What were you looking for in your decision when you ultimately made that call? And is there anything in particular in like Oregon's offensive philosophy that kind of stands out to you?
I was looking. So like, I'll start on your first question. I was looking for a family atmosphere. That was the biggest thing for me, for sure. Like a winning program, like facilities, academics, like that was really important too. But kind of my 1 and 2 was a family atmosphere and somewhere that felt like home. Or the family atmosphere is crazy at Oregon. You could talk to literally anybody there and they will say it. Like during my recruiting process, I went to other schools and they all preached a family atmosphere. And they're like, we're a family, like we're like that kind of philosophy. But like when there was dinners where the recruits would eat with some of the coaches, like their wives weren't there, their kids weren't there, it was just football people, which is that's totally fine. But when you go to Oregon, like I think it was SNL, we get done competing, we shower, we get dressed, we come back out, and okay, we're gonna have dinner. And you're not only meeting just the coaches, but you're meeting their wives, you're meeting their kids. Heck, I met Alex Miraball's let's see here, mother-in-law. Like, it was crazy. Like I was meeting everyone's kids, and kind of like my final before I left, like I was in Coach Cristobal's office, and he was also just talking to me, and Coach Cristobal's son just walks in right in when we're having a meeting. And like your kind of first reaction is gonna be like, oh, like he's gonna kind of get in trouble, he's gonna get kicked out, right? No, just puts him right on his lap and keeps on talking. And that kid just listens, And that kind of atmosphere where that's how big family is just second to none. It's crazy. And it just shows like how close everyone up there is. And that's what made me make my decision there. And like offensively, their ground and pound and pass and everything. It's an offensive lineman's dream to go to Oregon. Honestly, it's becoming the O-line U where they're being treated like royalty there, and it was just a cherry on top in my decision. So yeah.
A lot to break down there, but certainly a cool experience where you get to meet everybody. And
Mhm.
then when you had Mario's son, pop in there and then just kind of join you guys in your meeting, that's super funny. So now that you're signed, signed and sealed and basically delivered, we have a lot of guys that are getting to Eugene really soon. What's next for Jackson Light?
Ooh, what's next? Shoot. Got classes on Monday. Starting college, a little stressful, but I'm very excited. Just getting packing, about to leave. I think I'm just saying all my goodbyes here in Utah. And that's about it. Get ready and get up and go work.
All right. So just to confirm, you're going to be in early enrollee, it sounds like?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be there at like the 6th or 7th or 8th or something like that.
All right. Super soon. That kind of leads me into another question. We've seen I want to say maybe in the past 3 or so years, but like really, really significantly this year, we've seen early enrollee or enrolling early rather becoming a really big, trend in college football. Seeing that, you're not necessarily guaranteed early playing time, since like, the offensive line prospects that Oregon's brought in have been, up there.
Mhm.
What kind of went into your decision? How do you address that conversation with your parents? Because high school only comes around once.
Me and my parents are kind of different. We prepared to graduate early since freshman year. I always knew I was going to graduate early because it's going to make me more marketable to different colleges. But no, and I always want, like, my ultimate goal is to get up there and get playing time for sure. That's everyone's goal, and I think it puts me in a like 100% better position for me to do that if I do get up early and I do get a leg up on the academics, the playbook, getting my body in shape, that kind of thing. And so it's just the only decision that seemed practical to me was to graduate early. So
Looks like the writing was on the wall for quite a while then. Now that you're on the brink of getting to Eugene, I mean, you're I can just tell you're super excited, but what
yeah.
would you say you're most excited about once you get to Eugene? Like, is there something you get to campus or you get to Eugene, like, I want to do this? Like, what are you excited for?
Oh, all right. So initially that comes out right off the bat, the original Pancake House, for sure. I love that place. Oh, so good. And it's just like a nice mom and pop restaurant where you can just like talk to the waitresses. There's great people. But I probably right now, that's hard because I'm so excited for everything. Oh, see, I think it's just seeing the coaches and meeting new friends and starting off my life. That's what I'm just stoked to get up there and do.
I've been to the original Pancake House a couple times. I think my mom and I went there when she helped me move in this past summer, and I
Mhm.
knew that was like one of the key places we had to hit before she headed home.
Oh, so good. Got to get those Dutch babies. They're so good. So
Okay,
good.
I haven't tried those, but I'll have to keep that in mind for the next visit. Um, let's see. So the question that I kind of like wrapping these interviews up with, I might have asked you this before, but you're finally committed and you're going to be rocking that green and yellow before too long. What message do you have to Oregon fans that are waiting to cheer you on Saturdays?
Thank you. Thank you, Duck fans. You guys have been wonderful, awesome. You've been um, one of the biggest recruiting tools we can use. Um, like Duck fans, you guys are the best. You respond and everything on Twitter. You guys are salt of the earth people, and you're the best fans like in the world, hands down. And I'm so excited to get out there and show up for you guys. And I'll see you guys soon.
There you have it. I'm sure the Duck fans always love hearing that from players. I'm gonna switch up real quick. That I had a question that came to mind, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
One last one. So we have the Ducks heading to Glendale for the Fiesta Bowl,
Mhm.
facing Big 12 runner-up Iowa State. Just, I mean, from your perspective, some thoughts on this game and like what you're going to be looking for, and you think the Ducks can get it done?
Oh, Ducks can get it done. Ducks can always get it done. I'm gonna firmly believe that till the day I die. Um, no, yeah, I'm excited to watch this game. It's gonna be a great game. Um, the preparation and just talking with some of the dudes out working right now, just they're ready to go. A lot of excitement getting new PS5, like that's cool too. It's just it's a great bowl game, and it's a great learning opportunity for all these young guys too. So it's going to be a great game. I think Oregon can get it done for sure.
Going to be a matchup to watch for sure. Well, that's all I had for you, Jackson. Thanks again for taking the time to talk to me. Wishing you safe travels to Eugene in the coming weeks, and maybe I'll see you around. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
That'll do it for another video here on the Scoop Duck YouTube channel. Another thank you to Jackson for talking to me. Been really cool to get to know him. I've talked to him a couple times on this channel actually, so I'll make sure to link that somewhere so you guys can check that out. really cool to learn about this record-breaking class and everything that kind of went into it, more of the ins and outs of recruiting. That's what I always like to try to do with my reporting is kind of bring that process alive to you, the reader and the viewer. Looking at Oregon's 2021 class, all 21 of those commits are currently signed, so they're not going anywhere. And then there are still some pretty big names that Oregon's going after, such as JT Tuimalau, Jordan Moko, the offensive lineman, Jadarius Perkins, the JUCO cornerback out of Mississippi, who was committed to Oregon for a while, decided to open things back up, and it looks like Oregon could land him again a second time around as the next signing day approaches in February. I do have one more guy in the 2021 class for the Ducks. He is a commit that I am going to bring on the channel. Been trying to get him for quite a while now, so excited to share that interview with you guys. I'll kind of let you guess who it's going to be. And before long, we're going to be turning the page to this 2022 class, and we start it all over again as Mario Cristobal and his staff look to bring in more elite talent to contend for a national championship and bring that first one home for the Ducks. So that's all I have for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.